build a Qatari Emiri Air Force facility at the Mountain Home Air Base in Idaho.
Why is Trump building a joint Air Force base for Qatar on United States land? Did Idaho agree to this?
Plans to build a Qatari Air Force facility less than 100 miles from the Oregon border.
Fierce backlash tonight from the MAGA base after this surprising announcement with great fanfare from the Trump administration.
Host a contingent of Qatari F-15s.
He's sitting next to a member of the Qatari royal family there, just to be clear.
While sitting in front of a Qatar flag, we got sold to the highest bidder.
Trump's family and the Qataris are business partners now. Eric Trump recently unveiled plans for a new golf course and a beachside resort in Qatar.
Trump is making billions of dollars off his deals with Qatar.
And Trump's son-in-law, Jared Kushner, has raised billions of dollars from several Middle Eastern countries, including Qatar. Qatar is also central to the Trump's Middle East crypto strategy, which is now the bulk of his net worth, help make his children billionaires.
Trump can easily be persuaded by rolling out the red carpet and giving lavish gifts in exchange for America first.
This is the same country that gifted Trump the luxury jet. Remember the jet? Reported price tag on it was $400 million. The jet that Trump wants to use is Air Force One.
Trump hated Qatar until they treated him like a king on a throne.
In the past, on the record about the Qataris before they showered him with gifts and money.
The nation of Qatar, unfortunately, has historically been a funder of terrorism at a very high level.
Now that Trump has his money, he will sell out our military and our country. This is not America first.
Breaking news coming out of the United States. The United States has just announced that Qatar is allowed to build a military base in Idaho. The United States empire is being reverse colonized by its own client states, and it's paying them. I'm going to tell you what's really happening right now. Headlines are going to say some propaganda like, this is for military training. It's not. The biggest military base that the United States has in the Middle East is in Qatar, with 11,000 plus troops being stationed in Al Udeid. And that controls all of our operations for Iraq, Syria, and Afghanistan. And Qatar paid $8 billion to build that for the United States. But let's look at the timeline, right? Because why does this matter? Well, in June, Iran attacked that military base in retaliation after Trump's administration bombed Iran for the nuclear facilities for Israel. Also, Israel bombed Qatar, saying that Hamas leaders were there, and Qatar was like, what the hell, and called up Trump and was like, do something about this, or we're gonna do something ourselves. So Trump was like, bet, and he literally signed an executive order saying that any attack on Qatar was an attack on America. Let's also not forget that Qatar gave Trump a $400 million plane for Air Force One as a gift. Qatar also was part of the Palestinian ceasefire deal. And now, the next day, they're being allowed to build their own military base in Idaho with F-15 fighter jets on American soil. Think about this. We are now so dependent on their base in the Middle East that they can now put their military in our country. This isn't protecting America. This is Qatar buying insurance. You know why this is genius on Qatar's part? If Qatar has any military assets in America, we can never, ever abandon them. Any conflict with Qatar means we are now attacking forces inside of our own borders. They're creating leverage. And this is why I said in the beginning, the empire is being colonized by its own client states. Just proved that you can finance the empire's infrastructure, use that to guarantee your own security, colonize the colonizer, all while the empire thanks you for it. And this is the same pattern as the Chinese investment in the U.S. infrastructure, the Saudi investment in U.S. corporations, and the Israeli investments in the U.S. defense. For MAGA, I want to know in the comments what you think about this, because Steve Bannon had said no foreign military should be on American soil, and Loomer said that they will not be voting in 2026. But it's too late. We just proved that we can't project power without Qatar, and Qatar knows it. Colonizer just got colonized. Let me know what you think about this, and follow and share for more news, which this is mind-blowing. This is not even a topic I talk about regularly, but holy shit.
If you're Republican, I need you to come to the front. Come to the front of the classroom right now. I need you to tell me why make this make sense. So Qatar building a military base in Idaho, housing military jets on American soil is a good idea. Why? Is a good idea. Why? Someone tell me, Republican only, because I know you Democrats already know why. Somebody come to the front and tell me why Qatar giving us a plane, this for Air Force One, and then now suddenly why we're housing their Air Force base in Idaho with military jets on American soil. Patriotic? American? Confusing? I need to know. Jump in the comments. I don't care what names you call me. I need to know why the heck you're okay with it.
Hi guys, this is Sienna and you're watching Sienna's Reacts. A foreign nation, Qatar, now building a facility inside a US military base. The government says it's just training, but people are asking, how did we get here? Why is a foreign power allowed to put boats, planes and billions into US soil? And why now, under Trump influence? Well, let's dive in and see people's reactions to this. But before we do, please do well to like, share and of course subscribe to keep the channel moving.
Hey, it's Joe from Georgia. Well, a story continues. Do we remember where the Qatar government was giving Donald Trump a $400 million 747 and that hee-haw going on? Well, guess what is the return prize for Qatar for that 747 and what other things they must have done? Well, the United States government has signed a letter of acceptance to open a Qatar military base here in the United States. They want to come in and bring in and stage their F-15s. So the United States is going to have a foreign country from the Middle East open a base in Idaho. So it gets real interesting there. So was this part of the deal for the jet too? So that was the gift to the president, and then now this is the gift from the president. Qatar is building a military base and stationing 15 jets, or F-15 jets in Idaho. Interesting. Do you think there's might be, they're tied together or something? I do.
Quote, betrayed, fierce backlash tonight from the MAGA base after this surprising announcement with great fanfare from the Trump administration.
I'm also proud that today we're signing a letter of acceptance to build a Qatari Emiri Air Force facility at the Mountain Home Air Base in Idaho. The location will be host a contingent of Qatari F-15s and pilots to enhance our combined training, increase lethality, interoperability.
He's sitting next to a member of the Qatari royal family there, just to be clear. It's an announcement that caught everyone off guard. The administration greenlighting a plan for Qatar to build an Air Force facility in Idaho. And Trump's base is livid about it. Far-right activist Laura Loomer, who has Trump's ear, highly influential in MAGA world, lashing out. One of her posts, she says, what the hell is going on? Why are we trying to train more Muslims how to fly planes on U.S. soil? Didn't we already learn our lesson? Why are we encouraging more Islamic infiltration of our country by the founders of Hamas and the Muslim Brotherhood? This is very bad for our national security. And by the way, she had a lot more where that came from. Laura Loomer, in fact, has fired off about 40 more posts on X slamming the decision. 40 posts on this today. Watch them populate the screen. They're mad. At one point, writing, this is where I draw the line. I am not voting in 2026. And then Steve Bannon came out and told Newsweek there should never be a military base of a foreign power on the sacred soil of America. Now, to clarify, Qatar is building a facility to house a squadron of F-15 pilots and teams. I mean, that's a lot of Qatari military personnel on an existing U.S. base. And maybe there are serious security concerns with that. But there are concerns. There are when it comes to corruption. For one, this is the same country that gifted Trump the luxury jet. Remember the jet? Reported price tag on it was $400 million. The jet that Trump wants to use is Air Force One, right? That was Qatar. And by the way, when it comes to money, because it always does, Trump's family and the Qataris are business partners now. Eric Trump recently unveiled plans for a new golf course and a beachside resort in Qatar. And Trump's son-in-law, Jared Kushner, has raised billions of dollars from several Middle Eastern countries, including Qatar. Qatar is also central to the Trump's Middle East crypto strategy, which is now the bulk of his net worth, helped make his children billionaires. Most recently, Qatar also made sure to stay in Trump's good graces by rolling out the red carpet for the president during his visit as president. Fighter jets escorted Air Force One into the airspace of Qatar. On the ground, the spectacle had Cybertrucks, horses, and camels, a welcome for a royal. But on top of all of that, there is this. Trump just signed an executive order defending Qatar's security, giving NATO-level security guarantees to Qatar. Which, by the way, just to be clear about what that could mean, I mean, it should be obvious, but I guess I should also note that Qatar has been hit with missiles from Iran and Israel, both in the past 3 months. It's an incredible series of events. I mean, by the way, in any case, it's an incredible series of events to lay all that out. I can't even believe I'm saying it, and this is real, but it is. But then there's also this, what Trump actually said in the past on the record about the Qataris before they showered him with gifts and money.
The nation of Qatar, unfortunately, has historically been a funder of terrorism at a very high level.
And that right there is a big part of why MAGA is breaking with Trump over this Qatari Air Force facility in the state of Idaho.
So the internet is mad. They're mad. Why are they mad? Because Trump just agreed to let Qatar troops train in Idaho. Some are saying he's putting a military base, a foreign military, on U.S. grounds. But essentially all they're doing is they're going to train them how to fly the jets that we're selling them. But the Dems are using this to say that Trump's losing his voter base, that MAGA's turning on him, the usual stuff. But just wanted to keep it all, on the up and up. It's quite common that, we share our bases and train other military people. That's been happening for decades. But again, they're just searching for some reason to create division and get everybody's panties in a wad.
So guys, they call it partnership, but what if it's a backdoor deal? The people didn't vote for this, did they? And now it's happening in plain sight. American strength is being traded, one training facility at a time. What do you think, guys? Well, if you've made it this far, thank you for watching. I really appreciate. Please do well to like, share, and of course, subscribe to keep the channel moving. Till next time.